Good morning, Arizona. It is 6 o'clock on your Sunday morning. Hope you're waking up all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today. The day yet to begin as it looks like nighttime over there in downtown Phoenix. Good morning to you, Jared. What's up?
Good morning.
Have you had breakfast yet?
I've had a little bit of breakfast, but I'm already looking forward to our later hours when we get to eat. You know who is up this morning? Hundreds of volunteers who are prepping the course for the Ironman competition in Tempe along the lake there. A big day ahead for them, and actually it's very kind of cold out there this morning, but those racers and Iron men and women get started in just about an hour and a half, so they will be in the water
At least
in just a little
the
bit.
swimsuits on, the bodysuits. That'll keep you
that helps,
insulated. Yes.
Other people waking up after camping out over at PIR, too.
It's a big day today in the Valley.
Lots happening, yeah, and our Chamber of Commerce kind of weather's gone. It's cloudy, and that's what folks are going to wake up to this morning. Maybe even a few showers in your neighborhood. Want to start off with a live picture from PIR. It's still dark outside, but you can kind of get a feel for all the buzz, all the activity in Avondale today. At 12:30 is when that race is supposed to start. And as of right now, we do have showers in the forecast for Avondale at that time. Look at Doppler 360. We are seeing some green on the map. I think a lot of this might actually be virga, rain that's evaporating before it hits the surface because our atmosphere is so dry. So we're trying to get some moisture at the surface level. If you are getting rain in your neighborhood, I want to know about it. So make sure you tweet me or Facebook me and let me know, because I can show you what's on radar. But then again, what's happening actually outside your door is that ground truth. And take a look at the strong storms that are tracking through Tucson right now. This is from one area of low pressure, again, bringing really just southern Arizona some of that wet weather. We are going to be tracking another storm system headed our way come Monday. Here's a quick peek at temperatures right now at Sky Harbor, 57 degrees. We do have a breeze out of the east at 7, dew points at 28. So as I mentioned, very dry air out there. It's going to take a little bit of time before we start to get that moisture down to the ground. Temperatures right now in your neighborhood, it's 54 in Chandler, 59 in Mesa, 53 in Scottsdale, 55 in Deer Valley, and 52 in Litchfield Park. So over the next 24 to 48 hours, I want to know what's going on in your neighborhood with the weather. So you can tweet us, you can post to our Facebook pages, your weather reports, your pictures, locations, time, etc., and we will use them on air over the next couple of days. I'll send it back to you guys.
Okay, Kim, thank you very much. Turning to our top story again this morning, more details emerging about the people behind the attacks in Paris. French officials say one of the bombers apparently had a Syrian passport and posed as a refugee in Greece last month. Another attacker has been identified by fingerprints found at the stadium after the bombing there. He was a 29-year-old French national known as a petty thief. That bomber was radicalized 5 years ago, but never suspected of terrorism.
French investigators are questioning the relatives of the suspected suicide bomber. 6 members of his family are now detained. Police also say a car like the one used in one of the attacks has been found outside of Paris. Today, a special service is taking place at Notre Dame Cathedral. French leaders are promising to wage war on Islamic militants who attacked Paris. At least 129 people are dead, including 1 American. More than 350 people are hurt. Jonathan Vigliotti has the latest this morning from Paris.
Thousands of French police and troops swept the streets of Paris as the fear of another attack remains all too real here. Growing vigils and memorials line the streets as the country mourns.
We didn't want to stay just home. We want to go on the street and to live again, and just not to feel the fear they want us to have. So
Paris was rocked Friday night. French officials say 3 teams of terrorists, all armed with assault rifles and identical suicide vests, launched coordinated attacks on cafes, a soccer game, and a concert hall.
It's like war. What? Crazy.
23-year-old Cal State student Noemi Gonzalez was killed while having dinner with friends. She was spending a semester studying abroad in Paris.
She brought joy, happiness, laughter to everybody she worked with.
As a precaution, many of Paris's top tourist attractions have been closed, including the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre.
C'est un acte de guerre qui a été préparé.
French President Francois Hollande blamed ISIS militants for the carnage. Authorities say one of the attackers was born in France and had a petty criminal record. They are searching for accomplices and vowing to take no mercy when they are tracked down.
John Vigliotti reporting there, and there are reports that the FBI will send agents to France, but that French officials have not asked for help. The members of U2 paid their respects at the Bataclan, stopping by the site and placing flowers on the growing memorial. The band canceled 2 sold-out concerts in Paris that had been scheduled for this weekend, and they are not the only band to change their plans. The Foo Fighters, too, have called off the rest of its European tour, including a planned show in Paris tomorrow. A film distributor, Mars, said Saturday that it canceled promotional appearances for the film Jane Got a Gun, starring Natalie Portman.
Jamie, back here in the Valley, the Phoenix Suns paid tribute to the victims of the attacks last night. Leading up to the game, security measures were increased. Derek Stahl has more on what's being done here.
Before tip-off, the Suns played the French national anthem and held a moment of silence for the victims of the deadly Paris attacks. Outside, fans were screened with metal detectors and bag searches. It's standard protocol at an NBA game, but we're told there were added security personnel.
I think it's necessary and I think it's fine. I'm happy to do whatever is necessary to make sure we're safe.
So you don't mind the inconvenience?
I don't mind the inconvenience at all.
Oh yeah, safety's important. Yeah, definitely, especially after what happened over there in Paris.
Some fans told us they didn't notice extra security measures at the game. That doesn't surprise Stephen Edelman.
Security is effective even if it's not wearing a uniform. Frankly, sometimes security is more effective if they're wearing plain clothes.
Edelman is the vice president of the Event Safety Alliance. He says all 4 of the major venues in the Valley have extensive emergency action plans, plans that are vetted by their leagues and by the Department of Homeland Security.
Every year and multiple times during the season, these plans are tested and they go through tabletop exercise, which is something where everybody's sitting in an office, and they do exercises in the building in real time.
He says the attacks in Paris may ratchet up the stakes for venues in the U.S. and heighten vigilance, but he doesn't expect big changes.
Derek Stahl reporting there. The NBA, the NHL, and the NFL have all announced enhanced security measures out of caution, not out of any direct threat. The NFL already has a strict policy on bags, and now they're urging fans not to bring bags of any type to avoid longer search procedures. We're going to continue to bring you the latest updates from Paris and around the world as this story develops. You can follow the latest by downloading our free mobile app. New this morning, law enforcement officers are looking for the driver involved in a fatal hit-and-run accident which happened near Bell Road and the I-17. It happened just before midnight. It was a 5-vehicle accident which involved a motorcycle rider who has been pronounced dead. Also, a responding trooper was injured in an accident on the I-17 near Thunderbird. That trooper was taken to the hospital but is in stable condition.
6:08, switching gears to education this morning. The Valley has no shortage of schools with STEM programs, but one school is using what they're learning to change our community. Tanya Mendez tells us how.
Drills, saws, and massive wooden planks in the hands of middle schoolers.
Try to use a shorter one.
As a STEM class is taken straight to the streets.
Engineering and math. Yeah, because you have to measure, cut, and STEM by building hands-on.
Western School of Science and Technology sits in the middle of Maryville, a neighborhood with its fair share of financial and social problems. These kids are solving them with STEM.
They found a need, they find problems, and they solve them. And they aren't just talking about it, they're doing it, as you can see.
The students set to work.
It's even impacting the community and the school.
One piece of wood at a time. From the shade structures to keep people cool in the summer, to the playground rebuilt after someone set it on fire, and community gardens and planters put in a church so it can grow what it needs for the neighborhood food bank.
This has been an underserved neighborhood for decades, and our students are here to change that.
The project that these kids are working on here actually started on a much smaller scale, where the kids designed everything right in the classroom, and now their ideas are coming to life.
When we think about what makes the 21st century learner, it's hands-on, it's experiential, it's related to the STEM fields of science, technology, engineering, and math, and that's what's going on today. Kids are applying those learnings to making the neighborhood a better place.
These projects proof that the best learning doesn't always happen in a classroom.
They're building, they're measuring, and they're creating, and it really empowers the students to see that like their voice and their ideas have an outcome. They don't just talk about it. We don't tell them, oh, that's a great idea. They see their idea.
And these kids can see what they're learning in school really can create change in their community.
I would always say I wasn't be able to do this, but last year and this year, it actually got out to me yeah, I could actually start something like this.
In Maryville, Tanya Mendes, 3TV.
Yeah, you can. Well, we have a great show ahead for you this morning. Coming up, keeping a roof over your head, it's not as simple as it sounds when you do business with bad companies. Next, 3TV's Jason Berry shows us what to look for when hiring someone to help.
Also ahead on our Sunday morning show, terrorism took center stage at the Democratic presidential debate following the attacks in Paris. We're going to have a full wrap-up from the events in Des Moines, Iowa.
And it is a monumental weekend at Phoenix International Raceway, the last goodbye for a favorite driver.
And it's Sunday, and we are sharing your Sunday shout-out pictures, so log on to Facebook, post away, and we'll share them later on in the show.
And a warning, if you have to head out to Tempe this morning, you may want to leave early. This is a live look at Loop 202 in rural. That is because today, many people, thousands of people will be at Tempe Town Lake for the Arizona Ironman race. Stay with us, Arizona. Good morning to you.